sorry. Well, good morning, Kenya. It is the 4th day of June 2014. As always, we are glad that you're tuned in. This is Good Morning Kenya, and my name is Catherine Achinga. Well, this morning on Good Morning Kenya, we are going to be focusing on an issue that many of us think about, and I'm talking about motivational speaking. Why exactly do you wake up every morning? Do you go through life wondering every day whether indeed tomorrow will be a better day? And I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about those who go to work, and I'm talking about those who go to school. And this morning, joining me in studio is one of the motivational speakers. He has authored several books. One of them is here currently, and we will be discussing a little bit further about this particular book. And I'm talking about Fred Kiiru Wanjiru. He is the author of What Kills Students, specifically focusing on the youth and exactly how they can be able to go through life and live a positive life. Remember, you can also get to ask him questions. You can also get to interact with us. And for you to be able to do so, the numbers are 20511, starting with the word GMK, or you can just send us an email on gmk@kbc.co.ke. But first, let's talk to Fred, who is in our studios. Welcome to Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you very much.
First, tell us about who Fred Kiiru Wanjiru is.
Frederick Kiiru Wanjiru is a young man who has a passion for young people. And my main objective is to go out to school and churches and to make our young people, just to inspire them and tell them that yes, they can be able to make it in this life, despite all the challenges that they go through. So my main objective and my passion in life is going around school and churches and telling our young people, you can be able to make it. No matter the challenges that you're going through, life is full of challenges. And these challenges produce seeds of opportunities.
What made you realize that, you need to go out and talk to young people? When did you realize that you have a gift for, public speaking, a gift for motivational speaking?
My main and my passion when I was growing up and when I was in primary school, I wanted to become a journalist, in specific to be a news anchor. So when I cleared school, I remember when I was in high school, our principal used to tell us that you came as an individual and you shall live as an individual. So these are some of the words that I came to terms with, and I came to realize it's true. You came as an individual and you shall live as an individual. The grade that you got, that is the one that determines. So when I cleared school, I went to Ghetto FM, 99.9. So I became a radio presenter, which was in Majengo. So while I was in Ghetto FM, I came to realize the challenges that our young people are going through. So it is through here that I ventured into motivational speaking, whereby I joined Bongo Amumbi, who became my mentor. So it is from this, my first school to go actually was Meriliki Girls. So when I went to Meriliki Girls, I was given the second or the afternoon platform to start speaking with the young people. And it is during this session that I was able to be asked a lot of questions. Some of them was not able to answer, some was able to answer. So I did a research on some, and then later I was able to pen down a book. So that's how my passion of motivational speaking was born in.
And what happened to your dream about being, a news anchor?
And you see, a news anchor is a person who informs and educates the public on what is going on. So that is actually my passion. So I still do it, not really on the screen, but actually now facing the people, now going and taking the information one by one. Yes.
All right. Of course, career-wise, you are a banker. But, what does it take for you to be able to still, find time between work and what your passion, what you do?
You see, it's all about time management. It's you see, we have the weekends, so Saturdays, Sundays. So this means that you have the ample time that you can be able to go to the youth church and be able to be given a sermon and be able to preach. These are some of the timings, rather than just going and idle out in the estate. These are the best times that you can be. I actually manage my time, and when actually you are on leave, so these are the best time that actually you can be able to go out and motivate our young people, telling them that yes, you can be able to make it, and life is full of challenges. If you can be able to overcome these challenges, then well and good. Yes.
Motivational speaking, that is something that is, I would say is relatively new in our country. We are seeing a lot of people coming up and, taking up, professionally actually, motivational speaking. Has it got a lot to do with, you know, there's so many challenges today than there were, you know, 20 years ago? Or why is there a sudden craze, a sudden passion for, you know, motivational speaking?
I will say people are now embracing and they want to improve themselves. They want to learn. People want to be inspired. People want to be positive. People don't want negative things. So you'll see people nowadays have embraced, and with the technology now, people have been able to live a positive life. So with all of these challenges, people want to have a positive outlook of life. So that's why you have seen the rise of motivational speaking in Kenya. In other countries, it has grown. It's only in Kenya that we were very down, but now there is that rise. So people nowadays want positive outlook in life. That's why you have seen a lot of motivational books out there, and that's why you have seen more speakers invited from outside coming into the country.
But does it, you know, in net effect change the way, you know, people behave, or change people's attitude, or make people, you know, do things different which ordinarily they wouldn't have done if probably you hadn't talked to them?
Yes, because you see, you have the other side, the other coin of side of life, because if a person is going through challenges, they will only see this side. But if you go and talk to a person, because they also do counseling, you go to one-on-one and you share with the person, and then they say this is what they are going through. Maybe it's a parent who cannot be able to raise fees, so you have a child who is transferring from one school to another, so you go through a counseling of that kid, and you find out what are some of the issues. Is it that the kid does not want to go to a boarding school, or wants a day school, and the parents says that this kid needs to be in a boarding school? So all of these challenges, you come into one angle, and then the client can be able to make a decision that, yes, I was looking at only this other side. So then the client can be able to make a concrete decision on his or her own life.
All right, focusing on, you know, the book that you have written,
Yes.
What Kills Students, what every parent and teacher should know about dream killers. What inspired you to write this book?
Since I've told you, my first school to go was Meriliki Girls. It is during these sessions that I was able to be asked a lot of questions by students. Some of them was not able to answer, and some was able to answer. So I did a research on relationship together with music. It is these two researches that made me to be able to pen down this book, What Kills Students. Because when I was going with Mbogwa Mumbi, the first part or the first session, he was talking about dreams. And me in the afternoon I was talking about dream killers. So dream killers talk about relationship. These are some of the, what we call the boy-girl relationship, what we call drug and substance abuse. These are some of the things that are killing our young people. So that's why I was able to pen down the book, What Kills Students.
And what are some of, you know, the challenges that you identified among students that, you know, are actually captured in your book?
Let's talk about identity crisis. Our young people do not know themselves. If our young people can be able to know themselves and live a life of purpose, and not just live a life of just waking up, taking tea, then going to the shopping center, coming back for lunch, and then later the shopping center, and then in the evening, then they can be able to take what they know as to unlock, and then to come for supper. If our young people can be able to live a life of purpose, live a life of passion, do what they love doing, do what you do, love what you do. So that is one topic that I've been able to talk about, living a life of purpose, and also that is all about identity crisis, talk about relationship, the boy-girl relationship. I advise our young people they should be able to have platonic relationships, whereby they do not just, because even the Constitution of Kenya do not allow them even to marry when they're in secondary school. So that means they only have friends and not term them as boy-girl relationship. And then I've also talked about the kind of music that you listen to. It also inspires or it also kills you, because the kind of music that you listen to can be able to make you live a life very miserable or a life of purpose. Those are some of the things that I've been able to share in my book, What Kills Students.
All right, the dream killing part of it, how many students, how many, young people know, what they want to do? How many of them have a purpose, sort of like they've set out, this is what I want to achieve in the next 10 years. I want to be a doctor, and you start, taking courses that are actually geared towards that. How many of them really know much about their dreams?
Not really. Our young people do not really know per se, unless when you talk to them, because when they just finish school, they only want to pursue what we call maybe driving, and then do computer, and then at the end of it all, they just wait for the results. After the results, it dictates what they will be able to achieve. And that, we appreciate our Kenyan system education. That is the way it is. But if our young people can be able to realize that me have a passion in athletics, me have a passion in drawing, then you start immediately when you just enter or enroll in Form 1. So you leave your purpose while still in high school, so that immediately when you just finish out, you only do those courses immediately. You don't need to wait for your results. Because you can be able to go do a diploma before you're going to be admitted into the university, the accounts. If you have a passion in accounts, then immediately after Form 4, 2-3 months down the line, you can be able to go and pursue your accounts, rather than just waiting for the results to dictate that, hey, I'm good in English, I'm good in mathematics, so me, I'm best in sciences. So that one can be avoided, whereby our young people immediately, they can just be able to realize. I actually ask them a question. If they were poor 10 million, what will they do with the 10 million? If they were to construct a building, so their passion is in construction engineering. If they were to be able to start a business, then their passion is still in business. So depending on what they will do with the 10 million, probably that is their dream.
I'm sure you get asked this a lot, and I also wonder sometimes, what exactly is our purpose in life?
Our purpose in life is to serve humanity. Is to, when you serve human being, you serve God. So that is all our purpose. And our purpose is not, we were not born to go to nursery, primary, secondary, university, get a job, be married or get married, then you get a job and later you retire, and then we say, lived, we celebrate you, promotion to glory. That is not our purpose. It's to serve human beings. And if you can be able to live your passion, what you love doing, like Catherine, what you love doing, it is to inform people. That is your purpose. That is what God meant you to be.
But how many of us, just sail through life, like you said, I sort of say like we coexist. Everything is mechanical. When we are born, we know we have to go to school. What society expects of us? How many of us actually, sail through life?
Not really so many people can be able to identify and know their purpose. And if you want to actually know your purpose, it's just simple, go to your maker. If you know your maker will be able to identify and tell you that this is actually your purpose. And that's why you are born on this earth. Because that is the purpose. Because there is a person who went to the office early in the morning and got a signboard that read, the person who has been hindering your growth has passed away. And this person was wondering, at least finally this person has passed away who has been hindering my growth. And so the next, there is another card which was just reading, join the rest of the people into the funeral. There is a hall, there is a funeral service going on. And so this person went, and the preacher was preaching, and it reached a time that the people were viewing the body. And so as people were viewing the body, some were crying, some were falling down. And so this person also reached that point to view the body and say, finally the person who has been hindering my growth finally has passed away. Let me come and see. So the person went and viewed the body. After viewing the body, he was very astonished, because he came to realize that it was only a mirror. So when he was viewing he was only seeing his own image. And then there was a notice written there, the image that appears in this mirror, that is the person who has been hindering your growth. Because it is us ourselves that we say we cannot. It is our education system. We say it is the government policy. We say it is taxes. So a lot of these issues. So if you bring all of these issues, we say you cannot be able to achieve your purpose in life.
But even as you know, we focus on having all these big dreams because we all always want the best for ourselves. But what about the practicality of the situation? I can sit here and say, you know, I want to have 10 jets, but the reality is obviously very different. I cannot just dream if I do not, you know, do a lot of things, hard work, you know, and investment and all those kind of things. So how do you balance, you know, motivational speaking with the reality?
You see, motivational speaking is all about reality. It is all about dreaming. It's all about having a strategic plan. If you don't have a strategic plan, there is no way you can be able to achieve. So if you can be able to start and own your own company, your own company is all about the brand name that you use, Catherine Achenga. That's a brand name. So you have a slogan or a motto, aspire to inspire. So you have at least a strategic plan that within 5 years that you need to own a land, you need to own your own company, you need to, so all of those things, coming to spiritual matters, coming to all your economic matters, financial matters, and physically, how do you want to be? So having a strategic plan. Because some people, you see, you are in class 8 and you want to be able to have at least 10 jets, which is not practical. In class 8, I think you are now dreaming of maybe going to either Mangu or the best national school in Kenya. So it's all about having a dream, but that dream that needs to be able to be on the ground, that it is still practical. It is not something ambiguous. It is not something that it is far-fetched. It is something that you can be able to be achievable. As in, it is smart, it is specific, it is measurable, it is achievable. Yes.
Right. When you go out, you know, to the schools to talk to some of the students, there are very many issues that we have seen happening, particularly in high school. You know, we've seen strikes here and there, and well, we've had issues of, you know, matters of students not really being in touch with, you know, their reality and, you know, some of their expectations. Do you sometimes, you know, when you're in those, you know, schools talking to these people and realizing some of the things that they're talking about, does it make you think that probably they do not have people who they look up to, mentors? Because sometimes that is where the greatest challenge lies in. They have no one to look up to.
You see, that's a very good question. Our young people nowadays, I will say that they only want fame. They want fame, they want money, and they want what I can term as in, it's fame, money, and talk about sex. That is what our young people want, because they want to be like so-and-so. But they do not understand what has taken this person to reach this far. But if our young people can be able to understand there is more to life than fame, money, and sex, then well and good. They can be able to live a life of purpose. So that they do not have role models that we can term them as people who have been able to achieve. They want to follow that suit, but they do not understand what did they do to be able to achieve that kind of achievement that they've been able to achieve. So if we can be able to have mentors, if we can be able to have people who can be able to go out to our students and tell them that yes, you can be able to make it, but just be able to be in line and do not just be attaining and looking at a person and unasema nataka kuwa kama yeye, but you do not understand aliachieve aje success yake. Each and every success, there is a path that has been followed. Those are the challenges. The challenges that you go through make you to be able to attain those success. Yes.
What about for you? What are some of the challenges that, you know, you also face when you're going out there to talk to young people, to talk to, you know, teachers or even parents?
Some of the challenges is the accessibility of some of these schools. Because some schools are in far away and maybe they are 3-4 kilometers. And so there's accessibility of schools, that is one. And also to get talks in these schools, because it's a whole process. So, and also when you get in there, some students are very responsive. They can be able to respond to your message, and some you can see that the message was not delivered. Yes.
What about, perception, particularly when, you go and you're talking to an audience and telling them God has a purpose for you and things like that. And maybe they're not even Christian, they're not even Muslim, they don't believe in, anything. So they sit and think, this guy is preaching to us, I don't need to go to church. So how are you able to make them understand that this is not about exactly preaching, but you're also trying to make them understand who they are and how best they can be able to exploit the opportunities that they have? Do you experience that kind of perception sometimes?
Not really, because my line of motivational speaking is anchored to Christian or biblical teaching. So that one, it makes it easier, because I do not base it on science, that we just existed and that's why we are here and then we'll die and that's the end of your own world. No, there is a purpose. So if you want to just realize your purpose, because you know your maker will be able to give you that purpose, and that's why you are born, and that's why you are here on earth. So that means that when I go to such a school, I just anchor my message on biblical and spiritual. So that one is easier, rather than just coming with the science fiction that you just say you were born and that's where you existed. So you do not have that purpose. Yes.
All right, at this point, let's take a short break. Remember, this morning we are trying to motivate you to try and understand what exactly is your purpose in life. Are you doing what you're supposed to do, or you're just merely sailing through life and focusing on unimportant things while you could be doing positive things for yourself? And we are talking to a motivational speaker, that is Fred Kiruanjiro, authored a book to try and inspire the young people, parents and teachers to be able to understand where they're going and for them how best they can be able to get there. So if there are any particular questions that you want to know, if you want any answers from him, all you have to do is text us on the numbers 20511, starting with the word GMK, or you can just send us an email on gmk@kbc.co.ke. So don't go too far, we'll return shortly with more for you.